to Sportsnet Lakers. I'm Allie Clifton. Joining me is our Lakers insider, Mike Bresnahan, Lakers reporter, Mike Trudell. You already know it's the Mike and Mike show. And Allie, and as excited as I am to see your face, you have some pretty fire kicks.
Oh, this makes me miss Caron Butler.
How about these? Shout out Tough Juice.
Thank you to LeBron and Nike LA.
Shout out King James.
Very cool.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Mike, good yoga. I imagine you do something like that to be able to do that.
Hips a little sore,
okay. Sorry about that. Good kicks, though.
Let's dive right in. Good to see the both of you. If you feel like the previous season just ended, you are not that far off. 71 days between Game 6 of the NBA Finals and the start of the 2020-21 season for the reigning NBA champs, the shortest offseason in pro sports history. Lakers are looking to be the first team to repeat since the Warriors did it in 2017 and 2018. And LBJ knows the quest for an 18th title will not be easy.
I guess the bullseye just becomes even greater, even if that's even possible. One, for me personally, the bullseye has always been on my back or on my front since I entered the league. And then you add in the Laker name on top of that. The Lakers franchise, the bullseye has been on this franchise for a long time as well. So, understanding that everyone's going to come at us, everyone's going to, try to take away from us defending our title. But for me personally, last year we won the ring, we won a title, and this year is a new challenge. It's everybody opportunity to go out there and do it. So, as long as we go in with that mindset and be humbled about our process, and and not worry about what we did last year, we need to worry about what we're going to do this year. It will give us the best possible chance to be able to go out and try to win another one.
I actually want to, make sure I'm good to go. I don't want to, rush into anything. And, we've seen, unfortunately how, football went with no preseason, the shortest season, and a lot of injuries happen. You don't kind of want the same thing. So, I'm going to, build up the right way. Coach has been doing a great job of doing that with our team, building up the right way. We discussed a little bit about Friday. I mean, we just had 3 days of camp, like you say, in a short time to recover. So, coach is already on, everybody about taking care of your body when we're short of season, especially with no bubble. COVID plays a factor. So all these things that can be game changers for teams. He's doing a good job of making sure that we are healthy, and it's something that we talk about. But my job is to be on the floor with the team, but also doing it the right way.
Now, Danny Green talked to media in Philly after getting traded and had this to say about the Lakers' repeating aspirations. The pressure's on them. I've won back-to-back. It's their job to get me there and win another one. If they don't, they bleeped it up. That was all very lighthearted, a very lighthearted comment by Danny Green. But LeBron-led team guys always have a target on their back because it's what comes with LeBron James. It's all about winning. How tough do you think it will be to get the job done back-to-back?
Yeah, you go back to the graphic that was just up there. These teams that did not play in the bubble, 285 days between games. I mean, are you kidding me? So you're going to be seeing teams like Chicago and New York and Minnesota, not really good teams, but fresh teams. They're going to want to say, hey, we're young, we're up and coming, we're going to try to beat the Lakers in the regular season, let alone, obviously, a very tough Pacific Division, not a ton of rest. Preseason starting on Friday. Are you kidding me? A lot going to be coming at the Lakers, no doubt about it, Mike.
It's always harder to repeat. There's no question in anything in life. And the target on the back is going to be there, especially for LeBron. That's what happens when you're the best in the world at something. In anything, that's what you're going to get. The flip side, though, Brez, I think to what you were saying is, since the Lakers have had such little time pass and they have a good amount of their core coming back, they're going to be in better rhythm. They're going to actually know how to play together. And that stuff, I think, is going to be better than a team that hasn't played in nearly 300 days, where they're just figuring out what their rotation is going to be. And the other thing, I think, Allie, that mitigates that is the new fresh blood. The Schroeders, Montrezl Harrell, Wesley Matthews coming in that haven't won before, and those guys are going to want to prove something, and I think that can pick up some of that slack for the fact that the Lakers didn't get much rest. That new blood, I think, can help.
Yeah, this team on paper is better than it was a year ago, no doubt about it.
Right. We're going to talk about that new blood in just a second, but first I want to talk about Bron's running mate and Anthony Davis, because this is kind of new to him, obviously. Last year was his first finals appearance, and now here it is, a very short turnaround. What are the expectations going to be on him?
Slightly more than LeBron at the start of the season, because LeBron obviously so many trips to the finals over the last decade. He has earned his rest, and AD did too, but it's really only his one deep playoff run that he's ever had in his career. So The good news for him is they have some really good backup capabilities in a Montrezl Harrell. Can't wait to see what he does in a Laker uniform. So AD can just kind of relax, maybe not quite as much of a drop-off in minutes or games played at the start of the season as LeBron, but he'll get his rest for sure.
I'm going to go the other way in this one, too. I say 27, prime of your prime, just flexed on everybody in the postseason. Jared Dudley is his hype beast and is telling him, go get the MVP, as is Markieff Morris. AD told us that the other day. I think you were on the Zoom call. Actually, maybe you probably both were.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. And so, I think that this is his time. Now, he has to take care of his body. There's no question.
Sure.
But we can't discount the fact that they had 4 months off, more or less, during COVID, from March to August, then ramped it up. They've stayed in, I think, decent enough shape to this point. And sure, if you're going to not play, here and there, I get that, to make sure that the body's there. But there's no reason why AD shouldn't be going for people's necks this year. I see him playing his best basketball of his career.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about the expectations for the both of you because you guys are in midseason form already. With that said, though, I was going to add that because on the Zoom calls and having spoken to Anthony Davis as he's spoken to the media so far, I think that's been the one part that he has been very delicate with is making sure his body is right. It's all about the mindset. I agree with Jared Dudley. I agree with that take, how he should just go grab that MVP. It is his for taking, but it's all about making sure his body is right because of the history of injuries, which he has made known.
Yeah, and don't forget DPOY. He's probably got a chip on his shoulder that Giannis beat him that heavily in Defensive Player of the Year. One other thing for him to kind of think about this season.
Yeah, so you're not wrong.
Yep.
He has to take care of his body. The Lakers did that really well in the bubble, but I don't want to go overboard and then play too little,
Cuddle him too much,
right?
yep.
And get out, and because it's still about playing in games and doing it for the fans that are watching on TV, including Spectrum. So would love to see these guys out there as much as they can, keep the body right, and I think they'll be just fine.
Agreed. The Lakers posted some pictures of the players taking photos for what in a normal year would be taking place during Media Day. Dennis Schroeder looking pretty good in his new uniform. The champs didn't just sit back this offseason. They reloaded, and LeBron likes what he's seen so far.
We're just so excited to have those guys here. Having Wes, Dennis, obviously Trez and Big Mark. We're extremely excited to have those guys here. And we're just working our habits, working our, what we want to do as a team, both defensively and offensively. And everyone is in tune. Everyone is excited. But it's a process, and it's gonna get better and better every single day, every single practice, and that's what it's all about. But we love what we've brought to this ball club, along with the guys that's returned.
I think we're gonna be ready sooner than expected because of the veteran guys that we did bring in, and Mark, Wes Matthews, and then the younger two guys we have, Dennis and Trez. I feel like it's gonna be, as quick as possible. Them guys know how to play. Mark has won a championship with Toronto, so he has that mindset and that mentality already. And the other guys are just hungry. I would say, they want that, that title. They want to come in and prove themselves. So I feel like that chemistry is going to be put together as soon as possible.
We don't have no rookies, I think, in this group. I think we got Taylor is still a rookie till his first game, but I think other than that we got great veterans who are doing a great job, showing leadership, try to bring everybody together, especially with Bron, AD, we didn't have no problem with it, and I think it's an easy transition for everyone who comes in new.
Trudell, I'm going to start with you on this one just because I love the term new blood. And so when we talk about the new additions, I want to know which ones you were excited or which one maybe you were most excited to see suit up.
Yeah, if I had to pick one, let me go Montrezl Harrell. Okay. It still was such a surprise that he comes across the hallway from the Clippers in the first place. When that news hit, my first reaction was stunned, and then I did get kind of excited because the energy with which he plays and the snarl after the dunk and right there, that's going to be fun to watch especially when you don't need it to the extent that a lot of teams do. It's almost a luxury, and I just think that his energy is going to be so important throughout the season. Anytime, what we were just talking about, if somebody misses some time, if knock on wood, there's any kind of COVID situation or just players miss games in general, and then he has to take a bigger role, he can do that too. So I'm excited to see how Trez progresses through the season.
So Trez, What about you, the new blood?
Brez did not pick Trez. I want to be a little bit different. You got the reigning sixth man of the year. I'll take the runner-up in the award, Dennis Schroeder. And this also kind of came out of nowhere. Obviously, it's a trade. And Rob Pelinka, great job here. It cost him a late first-round draft pick and Danny Green to get a guy who, quite frankly, scores a lot more, better passer. Getting better in three-point shooting, and his defense really has improved over the last couple, 2-3 seasons. So he's really become kind of a scrappy guy out there on the perimeter. Danny Green, very good defender, bigger guy than Schroeder. Danny Green about 6'6", Schroeder only about 6'1", so the Lakers might miss some big perimeter play out there. But as far as scrappiness, Schroeder's tough to beat.
Now, I would just say that Schroeder, to me, is playing more like the Rondo minutes in that sense, and then maybe some additional backcourt minutes, whereas Danny Green, you're going to need more minutes from Kuz, like some other guys in the wing, Markieff Morris and stuff. So it's not a replacement in that sense. But I hear you. And Ellie, word out of the facility is that both these guys have been looking pretty good. So
how about them both together?
Yeah. Yeah, and especially the screen roll combo that they can use.
Yeah, excited to see that.
Yeah, that'll be exciting.
You just think of the threat that they were as the 1-2 punch coming off the bench. Now Schroeder's done with that. He did that for a couple of years, he said. But you just think about the dynamic and the threat.